No leaks, brand new lock. And before we get into Narrowboat Nige to the Rescue Part 2, I just wanted to show you what I've been up to these last few weeks, checking out the canal closures for myself. As you know, there's been water shortages apparently. I would say that there's poor water management on the system, and we can argue that one out as much as we like, but I've seen it with my own eyes, I believe that. But while I've been up here and the locks are closed, although there is some navigation allowed, I came to the observation deck of the inclined plane that branches off from the Grand Union at the top lock on the Foxton flight, and would receive boats here on this plane. It's 23-metre elevation at the top here, and goods were ran down on rails, as you can see just there in the nearest setup there, all the way down to the bottom where you can see the narrowboats down there. And look at that, look, Leicestershire doesn't look fantastic, and that's how the boats would have come in. There's a fine example there. And I've been through Foxton before, but I've never actually come round here. And the museum is open. I believe there's tours of this at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock daily. I think admission to the museum down below is £4 and children are free. An incredible look at industrial Britain from the point of view of the canals. Thanks for watching. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. In 2015, my wife and I gave up bricks and mortar for a fresh start and a new life on the water. And do you ever look back, I hear you ask? Well, no we don't, because we stepped out of the darkness and back into the light. Giving up bricks and mortar was the most liberating thing we ever did. So it's the back end of summer and we're running out of light. We're also going through Armitage Tunnel at Rugeley, and we're out on the other side and the Plumb Pudding Public House, where we had dinner before we called it a night. And man, I've been for a walk already, an hour in fact. This is a really nice place, in and around Lichfield. You know, regulars to the channel will know that I'm a big fan and I spend a lot of time around Lichfield. So in my view, any time spent around Lichfield is time well spent. I've also been doing a little bit of work here, and I'm on a course mid-November, so yeah, but the rescue mission goes on. And you know what? I'm just thankful that I'm not a part of that that's going off on the asphalt down there today. Whoosh. But that's always been a nice building. Looks like there's some renovations going off. You see the scaffolding up there? Morning coffee. Probably not healthy, but frankly, I'm very impressed with this. I haven't got there yet. I can't quite see how well the design looks, but what do you lot think to this? Look at this. How cool is that? I've never seen a boat like that before. So I'm thinking that that's a wooden top on a steel frame, on a steel hull. It's a workshop. Rescue 1. Wow, so it's a workshop. Obviously providing maintenance for boats on the go and independent. You can see his hard out there and his Ivies. Wow, wow, that is so nice. I like that. I've never seen that boat before. It's interesting, very interesting. So first for everything, I guess. Here we are. I knew somebody on the Arrowash Canal quite well, and when I lived on Lakeside Avenue, when I lived in the house, and he had a narrowboat at the bottom of his garden, his own boat, but he never used it. And I used to think, why? It was my dream to have a boat at the bottom of my house, at the bottom of my garden. I lived on Triangle Pond, just off the Erewash, near Sheet Stores on the railway. And I thought, wow, you've got this boat, but you hardly use it. It was my dream. Obviously, I gave up the house. What's this corner, Ian? Obviously, I gave up the house for this boat in life. Oh, look at this. Not sure if that's a big enough winding hole. Yeah, so I gave up this life, this bricks and mortar life for this one, but he had it all and never used the boat. And it's still there to this day, believe it or not. It's amazing. So there you go. Some have got boats, don't use them. Some have got dreams to have a boat and a house and don't use it. Then there are people like myself that would have, but is quite happy not to be living in a house, but living this life. And I'm never ever going to return to a house. It's never going to happen. I just love this life too much. It's too much to think that I could ever go back into a house. Not this day and age, not with the way cities, towns, and even some villages are going. It's just, nothing's the same anymore. Do you know what I mean? Just noticing that down there, you can see the piles, intermittent, in gabion baskets. Holding the gabions back, you can see the wood's rotted. It's revealed a bit more because the canals, yeah, are a little bit lower because of the so-called drought that we've just had. But you can see the gabions, how they've failed, look. All the stones have come out of them. There is still some in there, but it needs refortification. Just another problem with the canals, I think. We 50 plus, 60 plus, or the majority of people that are restoring the canals and living on the canals, I think we need to enjoy these canals while we can, because the younger generation, I think, the Gen Z, are just not into it the way we are, and perhaps we should be helping that along. I'm doing my bit to make that happen. Yeah, and there are young people on the cut, but and living on boats, constant cruisers, but is it enough? I don't think it is. What do you think? So this is the beginning of a 7-hour journey from Armitage to Barton Marina. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see if it does take 7 hours. Always take it gingerly around these curves. Can't see any shadows on the water. I think we'll be all right. Look at this. Look at this. This is perfection. And I know exactly where I am and what building I'm going to be going down by in a few minutes. But with that being said, look at them steps. Look at it. And there's the bedrock, look, the bottom of the bridge. Stunning. Bridge number 60. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. One coming in. So we're just holding back because it is quite a narrow channel. On the right hand side you'll see there's quite a lot of vegetation growing out. We don't know what's in there. The canal water level is a little bit lower than usual. It's still navigable, but this is what we do as boaters. We help each other out. Good morning. Is it still the morning?
Yes, just about.
And you don't bump into each other unless they really are coming towards you, because the inertia of the two boats coming together, the water displacement pushes you apart anyway. Well, this is where my life on the water and my railway career clashed. This is the railway bridge that changed it all for me. So I used to walk across this bridge regularly back in 2008 and 2007, 2008, 2009. And I used to look down at the boats going under and had the briefest of conversations sometimes with some of the boaters. And this is the bridge that made my mind up that one day I was definitely going to be living on the water. And here we are. And that has been like that for at least 4 years. With that nettle on up, believe it or not. So there you go. That's my history. That's where it all started for me. Working on LEC 2's West Coast Main Line. That's when I decided, that's when I knew that my future was the canals. Living on the canals. Spending probably the rest of my life as a boater on the canals. There you go. Yeah. Worked on this section regularly. So I'm happy to report that wood end lock number 20 on the Trent and Mersey is actually working as it should. Not leaking when the lock chamber's empty. Brand new steps, good ironmongery, overall good. It's about time. Most of the locks through here now, all the way down to Stenson, leak. But not this one. Wow, that was hard work. So we've got new gates here. And this one keeps swinging open, even though I've opened the paddles up at the other end. I'm having to run between the lock to keep this gate shut. But look at this. Look at this beautiful building. HS2 lock. What a joke. An absolute joke. Anyway, let's go. Leaky. This one needs changing desperately. This is the problem. Leaky locks. Not water, not drought. Leaky locks. A leaking system. That's the problem. Here we are. Ian's on his way down. And in next week's video, I visit the Welford arm of the Leicester line of the Grand Union Canal and see what the water levels are like up there. That gorgeous property is now revealed. All the trees have been cut back. You can appreciate it for what it really is. And look at them chimney stacks. Look amazing. Look at that. Keeper's lock number 16. Just look at the state of this. It's been patched up, but that's half the problem. Leaky locks. Just poor maintenance, really. Talk about droughts as much as you want. Talk about lack of water in reservoirs as much as you want. Nothing can account more for an ailing system. Is what the canals are right now. So thank you very much for watching the video this far. Please like this video, share this video and hit the bell for notification of future videos as they arrive on the channel. And please subscribe. It's absolutely free to do so.